All right, so section number one, remember we're putting 1 and 2 together. This is weird because I know I'm inside the room, that Mr. Allen's there too, so it's kind of nerve-wracking. But you can see what it is, variables and expressions. Let's see, variable, usually a letter. First problem, what's the perimeter of that circle? If perimeter is the distance around the outside, the answer would be 4s. Algebra expressions, one or more numbers and variables and one or more arithmetic, speaking English, operations. These are algebraic expressions. They have a number, variable, and an arithmetic operation. Okay. We're not using the letter x for multiplying, so get used to that. You have lots of different options. You've got xy, x times y, x parentheses y, and then all these different things that you can be doing. So stay away from the letter x as a multiplication sign. Okay, factors, numbers being multiplied, product, result after you multiply. That should be easy vocabulary. Power, expression like this. The base is the big number. The exponent is the small number. These are powers in their words. If you want to look at this, pause. Not spending a whole lot of time on this. Example 1, write an algebraic expression for each verbal expression. 8 more than a number. So one thing that you need to be careful of is phrases like more than, more than or less than. When it says 7 less than, it tells us to replace the two numbers. So that means the 7 is going to go at the end of our expression, not at the beginning. Technically, we should do the same thing with letter A. 8 more than a number should be x plus 8. But with addition, you can write 8 plus x. You can't do that with subtraction. Okay, so 7 less than the product of 4 and a number x, so that should be 4x minus 7. 1/3 of the original area, the word of means multiplication. The product of 7 and m to the 5th power. So 7 times m first, and then to the 5th power is what we're doing on that one. Evaluate means to find the value. So when it says evaluate 2 to the power of 6, we're going to actually answer it. Write a verbal expression for each algebraic expression. So now we're writing it into words. So for the product of m cubed and 4, because notice there's no parentheses around those two, you can look at B. And that is it. Don't pay attention to that. What in the world? User error. Where is it? There it is. No, one more. Okay, so that is the beginning, the section 1. Now we are looking at section 2. This has to do with order of operations. So we are telling us what to do first, then second, and so on. We can't just do our own little thing. For guidance, we turn to our angry Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Here's something I'm going to point out to you. Some people learn this as a G. G-E-M-D-A-S. Gemdas. I don't know what sentence we could make. Greatly excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Whatever. But the reason why they use a G is because it has to do with grouping symbols. We need to understand that we're not just going to be talking about parentheses. We're also going to have brackets. We're also going to have braces. A fraction bar can count as a grouping symbol. A square root symbol can count as a grouping symbol. So if you need to change PEMDAS to GEMDAS and see if we can move forward. Even this says inside parentheses or grouping symbols, so that's a good thing to remember. Then we do exponents. Then we do multiplication and division from left to right. We don't do multiplication, then division. We do whichever one comes first. Okay. Same thing with addition and subtraction from left to right, whichever one comes first. So in this case, the very first thing we would do is the 4 squared. Okay, that's the first time we have an exponent, and then we do any multiplication and division. So we will not do the 3 times 6 first. We'll do the 15 divided by 3. Okay. Normally, there's a whole lot more writing in here, so I apologize for the fact that there's no writing, but this is review. So I'm just doing this as a way of teaching you how to use the video. So you'll get practice in class. All right, so we're going to do the 4 squared first, then we'll do the 15 divided by 3, then we'll take that answer times 6, and that answer minus 16. Okay, here we have parentheses, so we're going to do the 4 plus 3 first. We have no exponents, we have no multiplication. Sorry, I just spoke wrong. We do have multiplication, 2 times 5. And then we have the 3 times the 7, and then we combine like terms, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here, we have another practice problem. Pause it, work it out. Here's one of those ones with the fraction bar. So that is a grouping symbol. So we do the top first, then we follow order of operations with the bottom, and then we solve. This is an evaluate problem, so they tell us what A, B, and C are, and we plug them in, and at that point in time, we follow order of operations. Okay, so here is an example of a type of video we do to help us understand Algebra 1 more. So you're going to see lots of these videos. This one was made fairly quickly, so please excuse any of the madness of a first day errors and that sort of thing. They do, well, sort of get better. They're not production value wise, but I'm not getting like the Gun Brothers to direct these things, so they are what they are. Okay, see ya.